Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do a follow-up video on my last one. Appears that I've been getting quite a bit of comments on the last one. So I guess I kind of sparked an interest on what people are looking for of the training here at Prime. So I wrote down some notes here on some tips of what I learned through the training. Now, this is just my opinion only. Obviously, everybody's got their own opinion. They can do whatever they want, say whatever they want. So if you're coming to Prime, these tips will help you, but these tips right here I think the tips will help you with any training that you go through, with anything. And then at the end here, I've got some tools that I learned that I'm going to implement when I start driving, and maybe you'll be able to utilize them also, help you out. The tools are some are more of a Prime thing. But also can be used in any facet of trucking. So anyways, so let me get down to it here. So, as most of y'all know, I had two trainers during TNT. Both of my trainers that I had were totally polar opposite of one another. What I mean by that is one was very high speed and the other one was very laid back. I had them both basically split right about the middle, about 15,000 with the first one, and ended up doing about 15,000 with the second one. So split about even perfectly. So the first trainer that I had was very assertive, had a very assertive style of training. The other had a very relaxing style of training. I was able to take both of their styles and learn from both and get two different opinions, if you will. And which helped me out, because that's kind of where, when I was a trainer at my previous job, that's kind of how we did it there. We also had multiple trainers, sometimes two or three, that would train a new employee coming in. That way that new employee had different perspectives also during training. Of course, we had a night shift, day shift, so the trainee would do some night shift training and also do some day shift training. You totally different with dealing with different people at night, dealing with different people during the day. Kind of like with trucking, you're dealing with different situations with shippers and receivers. You're dealing with nighttime driving, daytime driving. So you're learning everything here pretty much kind of the same way. So it helped me basically breaking it up. Excuse me. So with that being said, in my opinion, the assertive training was very domineering and pushy. Okay. And then the relaxing training obviously reduced a lot of tension, less stress. But I think if you reverse the two, I would have been lost. I think anybody would have. What I mean by that is I had enough knowledge with the first trainer that helped me carry into whatever training that I had. So my first trainer really got me a great head start. And the second trainer was kind of like, he almost did like an assessment, just see what I had. And like going back to it a little bit here, as far as, when you when you're pushing knowledge into someone and you push and push and push, at some point you need to step back, right? As a trainer, step back and see if what your knowledge in this person is working, right? Step back and let's see what they're doing. Almost kind of let them, kind of stumble around on their own to see where they're at. And then if you need to correct that, then you can. If not, and it looks like they've got it, move on to the next step, right? So that's kind of what I just wanted to basically get that off my chest and basically explain some of that. And also, there was a comment about, which I did a terrible job, and it's my fault as far as giving a better example. I explained how my trainer basically was in the sleeper and teaching from the sleeper, which was it was misconstrued of what I meant. So basically, what I meant to say was that my trainer stayed in the sleeper with the curtains closed and let me deal with arriving at the shipper, arriving at the receiver, dealing with the paperwork, talking, communicating, everything that I needed to do to get myself in and out of the shipper and receiver, okay? Obviously, they were there within a yell shot of saying, hey, they're asking me this, I don't know what they're asking here, or I don't know what to do, okay? He would have popped right out and boom, we'd have got through it. But it gave me almost the illusion, if you will, of being by myself. And I got through it. And he congratulated me on it after we get done, whatever. He would say, great job, you did this, or maybe do this next time, or do this next time, without basically sitting there talking for me while I'm communicating. Go ahead and let me say what I'm going to say to the shipper, receiver, talking out the window or whatever, getting out. So I could go and stumble through my words and everything else. So that helped me. I had the knowledge. I just needed to be on my own. So that's what I meant to say, rather than they were in the sleeper sleeping, basically. That's not what I meant. So, and I'm not telling anybody out that this is going to happen with your trainer. This is basically just like I'm telling you. This is what happened for me, and it helped me. It helped me get over the hurdles that I was experiencing. So that's pretty much it. All right, I think we beat a dead horse here on the 30,000 mile training. So that's. But with that being said, guys, if you have any questions about 30,000 mile training here at Prime or training period, and if I can help you at all, shoot a question to me, put them down below, and I'll try to answer them the best I can. Training's not easy here. Training's not easy at all on these trucks. I would imagine with any company, it's not easy. It's tough. Like my buddy Lyle over at No Hippie Trucking and Transportation will tell you. Embrace the suck, because it does. But it's worth it at the end, guys. If you stick this thing out, you got yourself a great way to make a good living and make some decent money. So anyways, moving on. I want to talk about some tools that I learned from both that I will definitely be implementing along the way that helped me out, okay? So one big one that I learned was, this is a Prime thing. I guess you could do this with anyone, I'm assuming. So you get a load assignment, right? It's sent to you by the Qualcomm or either on your phone, your Prime app. You'll get a load assignment, right? So on the load assignment, it's got your all your information on there for you. Of course, then you also have your 01 information and your 90 information, or 02 or whatever. When you pull up those pages, it's got all your numbers on there, everything you're going to need. And most of the time, I didn't experience anything on my phone, but most of the time, that information is right there on your phone, right, if you need it. Or it's on your Qualcomm. Well, here as late, we know we've had a lot of issues with the Qualcomm, keeps going down. It's becoming a nightmare, right, for a lot of these guys out here to have to deal with that. So what I was taught is to take a little pad, right, and on this pad you'll write down all your information. Okay, so you go on your load assignment, you go on your 01 and your 90, and you'll write down all your information. So this is the way I was taught. So basically, you'll write down your truck number, trailer number. Okay, you'll have your load number here. Okay, which is the prime load number. You'll have your empty load miles. Okay, you'll have your loaded load miles. Okay. Over here is your temperature, all right? I'm hoping this is not backwards, guys. I really hope it's not. If it is, I'm sorry. So top right here is basically your telecent for your temperature. So you'll have it's got, negative 10 degrees and miscellaneous frozen is what that one says. Then you got your 01 information. You got your place you're going, address, telephone number, state, and then your appointment time. Okay, write down your appointment time right here. All right, and then below that have these numbers. Now, I don't know which number they're going to ask for, because on the Prime app, it gives you order numbers, right? Sometimes they'll have an order number and it'll say PO, like this one right here. It said order number PO, and it gave you a number. And the other two are just called order numbers. I don't know what number they're going to want when you get to the 01. So when you get to the 01, and the benefit of doing this right here is write all this stuff down, because guess what? If you don't have it written down, when you get to the 01 to get your to the shipper, when you get your load, sure as hell your Qualcomm is going to be down, or the phone's going to be down. You're not going to get cell reception until you already got it. It's all written down, so it's already on your pad, ready to go. So you get there, you walk inside, and when you get in there, you ask them. They ask you they'll ask for a number. They'll say, what's your bill of lading number, or what's your order number, whatever their number is. And you just ask them, what does it start with? Does it start with the 532, 173, or the S31? Whatever number, and then they'll tell you it's going to be the 531 number, whatever. And you recite the number to them, boom. Now they have the bill of lading. And then when you get to the 90, you don't really necessarily need that, because you're going to have the bill of lading, okay, to hand to the receiver. But still, write all that information down. And then you'll have like notes or whatever that you need to make. And you need to learn these too, guys. Learn these little acronyms that Prime likes to use. And sometimes you're like, what the heck is that, right? So ask your trainer, So this one here has a little disclaimer at the bottom: expected driver service. LUDC. The hell is that? Well, it's lumper used, basically lumper unload driver count. So you'll know when you get to the 90, you're going to have there's going to be a lumper service there that you're going to have to pay to unload your truck. So know what those little acronyms mean, because they're going to be all over the place. They love to use those because it just condenses things down, and that's a repetitive thing to use a lot. You'll have you'll say receiver unload, receiver count, or shipper load, driver and shipper count, or whatever. So just know those little acronyms. So this is a handy tool that I learned, and I will definitely continue using that. Another tool that I would definitely go ahead and invest in is the Motor Carrier Road Atlas. The biggest advantage about this, guys, is it's got the yellow or the orange colored roads, okay, where they're all marked with a little orange on them. That is a road that a semi can go down, right? That is a known road that semis can travel on, okay? So you're covered and you're good by that, okay? So that's a good backup, right? If everything else fails, you're good and safe to use that and know where to go. Another great tool on the Qualcomm, they offer a GPS built into the Qualcomm through Prime. So when you plug in and you do your, you get your load assignment through Prime, and then you do a macro 19, you do a macro 19 for your 01, macro 19 for your 90, or 02, or whatever, I'm sorry. All that information is put right into your Qualcomm. So when it's a service you pay, I don't know what it is. I think it's a couple dollars a week of GPS service that you can pay for your Qualcomm. But anyways, you push the GPS on the Qualcomm, and it'll come up with a different selections you can put. But you can put on there for I forgot what it's called. Basically like destinations, okay? And you'll click that and it'll come up with like a list. So it'll have your 01 destination on there, and then you'll have a couple fuel stops during the route, and then you'll have your 90 on there. So you can select one that you want to go to, okay? And when you select that, it's just as good as you getting, like if you're doing trip planning, like when you do a macro 19 to your 01, macro 19 is going to give you directions from the interstate to wherever you're going. Okay, it gives you a good solid truck route to get to that location without you screwing up and going through a low bridge or driving through a friggin' residential neighborhood or something stupid. This gets you the directions. Well, on the GPS, it automatically plugs that right in on the GPS for you. So takes all the guessing out of that, okay? But have the road atlas to back you up just in case the Qualcomm goes down, right? So what I'm doing to back up that on top of that one is I'm going to purchase the Rand McNally GPS. The reason why I use the Rand McNally, so I'm kind of familiar with that. So the Rand McNally, the reason why I want to get the Rand McNally, because I'm not familiar with a lot of the highways and interstates out there. Like most of these drivers, you get two experienced drivers together and they'll start talking about just stories and stories and stories, right? They'll tell you about, oh yeah, rest area, or they'll say exit 23 on Highway 70. They got the best chicken wings and blah, 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 right? So, which is great information, but you're talking completely, totally different language to me. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't even know where that is, right? But these guys have learned over the years of where they want to go, what they want to do. So with the Rand McNally GPS, I'm sure the Garmin probably does the same similar thing. The thing that I like about it, like say when you're driving, okay, and you know you're running out of time, okay, your day's almost down to an end here. You look at your Qualcomm and you see you have 2 hours left to drive, okay? You already done your 30-minute break, you're down to whatever you got. Your 11 hours is almost over, you got 2 hours left to drive. So you're ready to call it a night. You're ready to find a place to lay down. So 2 hours left is about 120 miles, correct? So you want to know what's out 120 miles within that 120 miles so you can pull over and get some sleep. So the Rand McNally has a function on it. You can select next stop, okay? And you can select travel center or truck stop or whatever. And then you can look ahead. It'll tell you how many miles ahead of you are these destinations. So you can plug in within that destination a Love's or whatever. That way you're not driving blind, just looking for the next pullover, you know, just trying to gamble. Because if you gamble, been there, done that. If you gamble and you go, all right, I got an hour, 20 minutes I can drive. I'm gonna wait till about an hour. I'm gonna go and drive, I'm gonna go and wait, not an hour and 20 minutes, 120 miles. So you have 2 hours of driving. So I'm gonna drive about an hour and a half, and then I feel pretty certain there's gonna be something ready to stop. Sure as hell, you're gonna drive an hour and a half, and guess what? There's gonna be nothing there for you to stop. And you're like, well, I only got 30 minutes left to go, so I'm gonna try to push it. There's gotta be something. Guess what? There's nothing there. And now what are you gonna do? You pull over on the side of the road because you ran out of time. And here you are, you're that guy sitting on a friggin' exit ramp somewhere. Which, nothing wrong with an exit ramp, but if that wasn't where you were wanting to go, if you wanted to take a shower or whatever, or get something to eat, now you're stuck on the side of the road. So with that tool, if you have 2 hours left, you can look ahead and know, well, crap, there's nothing ahead for 2 hours. All right, so what's my next option? Well, I only got 20 miles up here to the Loves. I need to call it a night. So it's a great tool. I'm gonna use that. That's one other thing I'm getting. So those are just, like I said, there's a few things that I learned, and I'm gonna implement those. Like I said, if any of this helped you guys out, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if this video helps you out. I hope that my little collage of a couple videos here of 30,000 mile training here at Prime has helped you. I'm ready. Like I said, I'm ready to move on. Hopefully I'll get a call tomorrow. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, so hopefully I'll get a call tomorrow that I'll be upgrading. And I know as of right now, I think I'm 116. I talked to my fleet manager day before yesterday, and I'm like 116 on the list. So hopefully I make this Friday slot. So that's what I'm waiting for. And then I'll go back and do my safety class and my upgrade class and whatnot. So yeah, guys, thanks for sticking around. Like I said, give me a thumbs up. Shoot me a question down below if you have any. And I'm sure somebody out there will maybe help out and give you an answer if I don't have it. But once again, thanks for following me, and we'll catch you on the next video.